Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is part 2 of Astral Games Day 5. I've logged into my wizard, and I'm in Act 2, which is, as you might have noticed, a desert act. Again, I have the Templar out with the wizard purely because the wizard is very fragile in close combat and the Templar can charge in. I want the heal skill, thank you. So the wizard has a different mechanic than the barbarian. I also have the white and black die that comes with the collector's edition, so you can see how it looks pretty good here. So the barbarian is a fury generating guy. If you attack, you gain fury, and with that fury, you use that fury to use your skills, basically, like the summon the tornadoes and stuff. And the wizard works differently. It just has arcane power, it regenerates fast, and you use it to cast spells. So I just went into a random area for a sec because I basically spawned the game directly at the boss that I wanted to show you. So I'm just going to a random area and show you some attacks of the wizard before we get into the boss fight. Here some monsters are still there. So my basic attack is Spectral Blades, which summon, as you can see, summon blades that heal my wizard. I have an energy shield, which basically increases, which is mage armor, increases my resistances and the resistance and the armor rating. Basically, Diablo has 2 defensive stats, which is your standard armor, which reduces damage, and then the resistance, which actually reduces specific types of damage stronger. And you also have a dodge chance, but a 4.4% is negligible, as they say. So again, because I'm playing a mage, they drop mage items, but yellow items are not always better. So that was my basic attack. Now I'll move on to the attack that I usually use, which is basically a Ray of Death. As you can see, it's a ray that spawns multiple rays to kill monsters. It's another way of dispatching the enemy. You also might have noticed some fireballs coming with it. That's not because it's part of the ability, but because my mage has one of those rings that I talked about earlier, crafted. So as you can see, that gives more experience. And also spawns fireballs to damage the enemy. Another AoE attack of my wizard is at the blizzard, which I spawn here, which is ice falling on enemies, and they keep on summoning. Apparently they're not that bothered by ice falling on their heads that kills them. And another ability is the Wave of Force, which I can show you here. My wizard jumps and then they're stunned, I believe. Yeah, they do reduce damage. So again, this beam is my main attack. So that's my wizard in short, how he works. Also, favorite characters return like Tyrael in the story, which is really awesome. And this girl has plans for the armor that add a lot of the main stat, and Word Spell, which is needed to enter Wincheshire. That's other secret location. And yes, you also have Magic Missile in this game, as you can see. Which basically shoots a magic missile because you want to see the ability. But I use healing blades. Wait, where are they? Wait, they're gone with this patch? I used healing blades, which basically gave you life every time you hit an enemy with it. And apparently they removed them in 2.0. Let's go with barrier blades then. A shield or hit points. So now we're going to a really cool location. Yes, it indeed was Magic Missile. Which are the Archives of Zoltun Kulle. Which are just really awesome. If I move back a bit, you can see this awesome location. It reminds me a lot of the... you have sand going out. It reminds me a lot of the Arcane... what was it again? The one of Diablo 2 with all the stairs. So yeah, it's a really cool location. Also, if you hit this one, it actually goes out and in, which is really awesome. Did I attack the darkness somewhere? Interesting. There are actually creatures of darkness that you can attack. So in any case, the boss. It's a wizard that has 2 personal bodyguards. So I guess it's going to be a battle of the mages. A battle of the I'm pointing my wand at you as hard as I can part.
Absorbed into the stone. Abandon your quest, Neverland. Your allies seek only to control you. With the power I offer, you and I could rule over all creation. You are mad, Kulle. Give me the stone.
Basically, these wizards try to coerce you into working with him. I recently read an article where the creator said that it was the intention I recently read an article where it was the intention that you could choose different paths with a moral choice, like in Mass Effect and stuff, but that they skipped it because they wanted to focus on the multiplayer part, and they were not really sure how they could implement that choice into multiplayer. So as you can see, he drops tornadoes, drops a time slowing field, rocks, a fireball. Again, I have it on a slightly lower difficulty, so it doesn't hurt my character that much. And yeah, I also have a diamond skin ability, it's activated here, which is basically more extra armor, absorbs a lot of damage. He's almost dead already. Can drop a blizzard on him. And I got an achievement. There are achievements in this game. Just like in World of Warcraft. And I actually got a some good loot. This one isn't good.
Quite intriguing.
Um,
Why don't you talk to her and let her know how you feel? What?
this gives less protection. I'm not too comfortable with that.
What's that meant?
This one gives more intelligence, more vitality. Dexterity isn't useful. It does, however, lower my resistances. But not by much, so I'm taking it. And this one, more intelligence, more vitality. And it gives me experience when I kill a monster. If you can see, monster kills ground plus 67 experience. There are two types of experience bonuses on items. Like this one gives a flat out 67, and this one, this ring, is 35%. Interesting. We're going to make a drinking game out of interesting. Interesting. Can make you really drunk with that.
I need to go back.
Interesting. So now that I've basically killed this guy, what else? Let's see, I can show you another boss. We can go to the end boss of Act 2, which is also a pretty awesome one. Oh, sorry, wrong button. So this is also a pretty cool end boss. First you have to rescue some people. I believe it's this section of the game.
Now to the gates.
No,
We have no
it
time
isn't.
to lose.
There's one section in this game where you have to rescue people from falling meteorites and stuff.
Use your power just the way I taught you, and bring
But I'll show you this boss, and then we'll go on to my next class.
can't fully control it.
I still have a monk and a demon hunter on maximum level. Basically, the monk is a area of effect class, just like in Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition, for those who know it. A lot of targets with lower damage, and the demon hunter is Van Helsing, basically, a fast-firing bowman. So, as is true with a good Diablo game, it's a lot of flashy effects. And also they put a small mini boss before the big guy, which is also a wizard. There are a lot of wizard bosses in this game, I must say. And he tries to run away every time.
I need arcane power.
But now he's dead. I'm just going to check the loot again and again. A rare helm that's better than my legendary. Unfortunately, it doesn't look as cool. But I must say, it's pretty good, actually. I of course never throw legendaries just on the ground. I'll keep them in my stash. Let's see how this helm looks. That looks a lot like the Loki helm. So now I'm slowly turning into a puny god. It's an upgrade for a wizard, I guess. and these snakes become invisible and then teleport towards you, which is quite nifty. Become invisible and then boom, there they are again. So I've actually never seen a yellow item which is better than a legendary. But it happens, apparently. Oops, I didn't turn my shield back on. Obviously, an X is not what we want as wizards. This gold thing that I just picked up gives you me Nephilim Glory, which makes me move faster and do more damage. Now on to the big one, the big guy.
The stone when I trap your rotting soul within it, Belial.
Clever, but know this, Nephilim. Asmodan knows of the stone and the power it contains. Even if you defeat me, he will exterminate you and every last one of your misbegotten kind.
There's the big guy. Basically, story-wise, the Emperor got replaced by a demon. And yes, the Emperor is a kid in this city. And we're here to stop the demon and return the Emperor to his rightful place. So first we have to fight through these Naga again. And now he's in his first form, in which he's pretty small, but you'll see later on in the fight. He becomes pretty big. Another cool effect, which this game has quite a few of. I think I'll also level with this boss. As you can see here, this is my experience. I think I'm going to level up soon, and then I can show you how that works. I already described it at the beginning of the cast, but now is the big guy. There he is. So, as I said, big guy. So you just have to dodge his attacks. Luckily you get a warning as to where the attacks land before they land. But he does one nasty thing, where he basically throws meteorites around, which he's going to do now, and they have to run. But there are a lot of them, as you can see, so you can't touch all of them. And because I have a difficulty lower, it might not be as damaging. But for characters that are actually here, that are actually the level, that this thing requires, it could be pretty nasty. Naga are half fish, half snake, I believe. Well, depending on what myth you take, there are different kinds, but I believe most of them are half fish, half snake. Yeah, it looks awesome indeed. There are a lot of awesome effects in this game. Oh, I have to run again. Well, maybe I can take it. Especially with diamond skin on. We'll see. see how low my health gets, and that's just on a difficulty lower than what I can actually do, what I can actually handle with this character. So you can imagine a character with the same level as this fight. It usually means instant death after just 3 or so meteorites. When I first came here with a group or solo, it was just absolutely really insane. Group fights just with this boss. Yes, the ground has regeneration. Thank God the boss doesn't. And there you have it. I leveled up. So great timing to level up. Bosses obviously drop a lot of items, but none of them really good. So we'll see what I get a defense point. Each level you get a different point in a different category. So of course I'm going for life. I would love to have more hit points. So I'm just going to stash this away in my stash. And that was Belial, the boss. So that was pretty cool. Yes, part snake, part fish. So I'm now going to switch characters and show you my Demon Hunter, which is basically a crossbow dude. And also I can only select campaign as of now, but adventure mode, which basically comes with the expansion, gives more random stuff, which is pretty good because people complained that this is basically just the same thing. I mean, you have the campaign and then you're working through the same campaign levels and the same campaign bosses. So what the expansion will do is introduce a completely different random mode, which gives you a random space to fight in, not even tied to the campaign, with random mobs spawning in random amounts of, well, depending on the difficulty, you select random stuff. So it's a completely random mode, which basically answers to the complaints that they've been having. So these are the difficulties. Again, a pretty cool screen. First it was just a screen with this difficulty, this difficulty, this difficulty. It wasn't as tidied up as it is now. The UI definitely had some tidying up. And we'll go with expert, so I can show you with some quicker speed the next act and also the next boss. Siegebreaker, which is basically a sub-boss, which is not the end boss of the act, but a in-between boss, just like the Skeleton King was. Basically a big melee-oriented beast. So my Demon Hunter has a shot that wraps around enemies and then explodes. Oh yeah, I should invest my point here as well. So it basically wraps around enemies and explodes. I can Volt, which basically gives me speed, and it also leaves behind a flame trail, which damages enemies. I can throw knives around me, and as with the Barbarian, but then in Demon Hunter style, I can run around and throw grenades everywhere. And the main attack is basically a machine gun-esque attack that I'll show you once we get to the enemy. So basically Act 3 is a keep under siege. Verbiage is still fine for now though, yeah indeed. Wait until we get to MA. So basically Act 3 is a keep under siege, which you have to protect from demonic forces. After you kill Belial, a new demon rises, well, comes to the world and assaults the human keep. As you can see, I think I cancelled out all the monsters because I selected that. Oh, here they are. And here you can see my machine gun effect. Basically what this character uses a lot. Until I run out of my resource. And then I use my disc attack. The Demon Hunter has a different resource system again. As you can see, the resource bubble is divided into two parts, which is discipline and hatred. Hatred basically, there are some abilities that cost hatred, such as the machine gun thing, and the stray thing, and the knives cost hatred. And then there's Vault, and the other ability, which is Shadow Power, basically giving me life with every kill. They consume discipline. Discipline regenerates slowly, and hatred I can gain with this shot. So as you can see, I'm just showing off the locale here. It's a keep under siege. You can see demons fighting below if you stand on the right spot and everything. Here you can see like demons fighting below. It's pretty cool how they did like the environment and stuff. So I'm just showing around some environments. Keep depths, then you go below the keeps, which is basically just hallways. As you can see, I'll just show it so you can see what it looks like. But this isn't one of the. This is one of the least interesting locations of the whole map. Here we have a quest. Aside from the main quest, you have side quests. Basically, NPCs that ask for help or something. They're called events. And if you complete them, you get loot and experience. So here we have to protect the smith that is crafting an item because they're out of weapons. But how a smith can concentrate while skeletons are attacking him with this up close, I don't know. But you know, it's Diablo, so realism isn't one of their strong suits. And then we have the boss skeleton. He's now dead. Here we have one of those wizard hats that a demon hunter gets. See, you get experience angle. Common debris, a crafting material. This is new. Crafting material. I have not yet seen it. Probably it's something for the expansion or something. I'm guessing. Quests, yes. Quests. So that's, you know, the hallways are just hallways. Then you have to go outside of the fortress. Yeah, Diablo. It's still great, especially with the changes they made, and I'm really looking forward to the expansion, which focuses on the Angel of Death. So, since Necro and stuff is my thing, I'm really looking forward to it. Also, it introduces the Crusader as a new class, which is basically a paladin. So, all the stuff that I really like, they introduce in the expansion. And I'm with you, Will. I was also a really big fan of playing it. I mean, lore in this game is not one of its strong suits, let's put it that way. I mean, definitely they tidied it up a lot with the Book of Cain. But in the game, lore isn't as pronounced. But you can't expect that from a action RPG. Or at least, I would expect an action RPG to focus on the looting and experiencing, not the story. So basically what they task you to do once you get this quest is, once you get the quest to get here, is to destroy great war machines. I've destroyed them, but for example here would be a great war machine. And they are basically guarded by hordes of demons. So I'm just going to see if I can get a safe spot so I can get to town, and then we can go on with the bus. Showing you the bus. So this is a bridge you have to get across. And there you have the boss, but I'm going to deal with these ones first. Shouldn't take too long. Because it's an elite and, you know, they drop nice stuff. Alright, so he's dead. I'm getting a brooding visage, which really looks cool, but really bad. So, the way I check these items really quickly is because below you can see minus and pluses on the percentages. So if there are not enough plus percentages, I don't check the items basically. If it gets me 2 or more pluses, I usually just equip them to see the difference. Other than that, I won't bother. And there's the boss. It's one of those we saw fighting below from the keep. So basically, it's a big guy that just stomps around and picks you up and then screams in your face. Again, I'm using a lower difficulty, so the damage isn't that severe, but every boss has its attack that is extra damaging. So Belial had those meteorites, and this guy has this I pick you up and scream in your face kind of thing. These demonic hellbearers in this fight are new. They were in their pre-expansion, so basically they're guys that puke out different demons. Here you can see them at work. He puked out some demons. So yeah, it's pretty gruesome, but they're pretty effective. And more hellbearers, alright. So this fight changed. This fight changed pretty much. but I think in higher difficulties that will definitely make a difference because you have to fight more demons at once. And I think it's really good they changed this fight because before people would just stand here and then the Siege Breaker would be pinned down here and then they would just spam abilities at them. So it's pretty good that they introduced these Hellbearers to this fight. As long as they are able to balance out the Siege Breaker, then it's a pretty good addition, I'd say.
The beast has fallen.
So a lot of drop stuff and a lot of bad stuff. So I'm going back to camp. Yeah, I can, before the break, I'll basically will show the amboss of this act. Let's see, I'll go put it this way. So it's all neatly arranged. There we go. I'll show the amboss of this act with yeah, you know what? Let's do this character, and then I'll leave my monk for the final part of the stream. So basically, I'm going to show you the boss now, the amboss of this act. I'm going to put it a difficulty lower so we get through it faster, basically. And then I will, for the final part of the stream, I will switch to the monk, show you the last act, the final act, which takes place in the heavens. So it's a really cool location. And I'll show you some multiplayer. I'll join the public game. So in the final part of this act, you basically travel through the core of a volcano, basically. And the demon has erected these towers, which you have to fight through, in which demons are imprisoned. So basically, the boss of this act is the Demon of Sin, which has demons imprisoned so he can, well, yeah. I mean, it's the Demon of Sin, and his right hand is the Demonette of Lust. So I think you can fill that out for yourself. Let's keep this stream somewhat age appropriate. But yeah, after the towers you travel through this volcano style hallway. And yes, it's a creepy looking wrench. I think they were meant to be that way. And I've got a new plan. Pretty awesome. These plans are dropping pretty frequently in this new patch. I think they up the loot a bit because the auction houses are going to go and people still need to advance. And before the patch, it was just, the loot was just really bad. Well, really bad. You had to play a lot, like insanely much too. And to an extent, to get the good loot. And to an extent that's okay, because obviously you won't have a game. But it's just, it was pretty bad. So another thing I can explain, now that I found one, are shrines. Shrines can be found throughout the world, and they basically give different bonuses for a like a period of time after you activate them. So this Unlighted Shrine will give you experience bonus. There's a Speed Shrine that gives you movement speed bonus. There's a Attack Shrine that gives you attack speed bonus. Frenzy Shrine, I believe it's called, and stuff like that. So if I activate it, I basically have more experience. So it's good that these shrines come along so I could explain it. So I think after this stream I've explained pretty much every aspect of Diablo 3 there is to explain. So yeah, the only class I do not have a max level character of is the Witch Doctor. And that's because I didn't like the playstyle. I thought I would have liked the playstyle just from the description, it's really cool. I mean, summoning zombie dogs and stuff like that. I can show you, I will show you. I do have a lower level one, so I can show you definitely. But its playstyle didn't fit my playstyle, so I didn't level him up. But I do have one to show off the abilities. He isn't max level, far from it, so I don't have all the abilities, but I can show off the ones that I have. For those of you interested in a zombie dog summoning poison throwing character. So here we have the entrance to the boss chambers, and again I'll just let the cinematic go and then we'll kill the boss. And then it's break time for this part.
Nephilim fool, when the soul stone is embedded in my flesh, the seven shall be as one within me. I will be the sum of all hells, the prime evil.
Again, this fight changed. These changes weren't here, which is another added difficulty to the fight, because he will summon stuff where you want to run away from, So here we go. So you want to run away from this, and it doesn't expand. So before the patch, yeah, he has an eye beam and stuff, you can see it. Oh, it expands slowly. So before the patch, the chains weren't there, so you could run around the entire area, which is pretty big, as you can see on the map. And these things would expand really fast. Why do you want to run away from it? As you can see, it damages me when I stand in it. Again, because I have a lower difficulty, it isn't as bad, but you can understand that, you know, if you are there at the difficulty you are actually there for the first time, it's pretty painful. So another changed fight that I didn't know of. So these actually up my damage, but they lower my resistance. Do I want to have it? You know, my resistance isn't that bad, even with these on, so I'm exchanging once again an epic for a yellow item.
I need to go back.
Which is pretty interesting, to say the least. This patch really changed more than I thought. Well, it really changed the game more than I thought. So we have another plan to learn to lead. There we go. And yes, after the break, I will show my remaining two characters and the final act, Act 4, which takes place in the heavens. I'm just going to go run a quick bathroom break, and then I'll be back for the final part. See you all in a bit.